In the first age, in the first battle, when the shadows first lengthened, one stood, burned by the embers of Armageddon, his soul blistered by the fires of hell and tainted beyond ascension. He chose the path of perpetual torment. In his ravenous hatred, he found no peace, and with boiling blood he scoured the umbral plains, seeking vengeance against the Dark Lords who had wronged him. He wore the crown of the Night Sentinels, and those that tasted the bite of his sword named him the Poon Slayer.
What the fuck? How the fuck did I end up in here? I was just in the kitchen enjoying this pack of gummies and... Wait. Camera. My game collection. Inevitable game capture footage. This is a video game show on YouTube, isn't it? Fuck it, let's do it. Fuck.
Video games are a really powerful thing. From the emotional powerhouse of The Last of Us to the absolutely balls to the walls insanity of Super Smash Bros., you can find many reasons to love these games. I love The Last of Us because of the characters. I latched onto Joel and Ellie because of how incredibly fleshed out they were. They were more than just characters in a video game you controlled. They were people with flaws, and seeing how they would handle each new situation was an enthralling experience. And I love Super Smash Bros. Because... well, I mean, just look at it. Look at this roster! There will never be a game like this ever again. But not only does this game have an incredible roster of fighters, it's also just infinitely fun to play. I would always play Brawl with my cousin, and we would just mess around with the stage creator and make stupid-ass stages that made no sense, but we didn't care because we were just having fun.
Actually, fuck that. Smash Brothers has no blood. Not realistic enough. This game has no soul. Alright, time to dredge up all this internet vitriol. Why does God hate us?
Looks like the internet's gone and done it again. Taking a game that people seem to be having fun with and just giving it shit for no good reason. You telling me the fruit in Halo Infinite doesn't explode realistically like in Modern Warfare 2019? Wow. They must be extremely lazy to do something like that. Back 4 Blood's car glass doesn't break as dynamically as Metal Gear Solid 2's wine bottles? Turtle Rock must be ashamed of themselves for this. The reason why I take umbrage with these spicy takes is because it's completely pointless. These things that you think are detrimental flaws with the game are just nitpicks. Halo Infinite isn't a worse game because the fruit in the marketplace doesn't burst into tiny pieces. From everything I've seen and heard about the game, the shooting mechanics are pretty good, the map design is well done, and weapons feel good to use, so that feels like a win to me. Same thing with Back 4 Blood. People are having fun with it, but there are those special people out there who just have to be really picky. As long as the game is fun, who cares whether or not you can put footprints in the mud? Let's take a game that I used to play a shit ton of as a kid. GoldenEye for the Nintendo Wii, a reimagining of the original game that released in the year 1997 for the Nintendo 64. Now, I never got a chance to play GoldenEye for the 64, so this game was the GoldenEye for my generation. And you know what? It's just Call of Duty, but with James Bond in it. But that didn't stop me from having an absolute blast with the game. Being a James Bond fan, it was kind of cool to see this game be pretty much a remake of the original movie, but with Daniel Craig and in video game form. It's just straight up dumb fun, from the single player campaign to the split screen multiplayer. The split screen multiplayer even had some pretty wild modifiers you could use to make matches even crazier. Rubber grenades will never not be fun. The game looks like ass compared to games released today, but I don't care. I play the game because I love doing stupid shit with Oddjob's hat. Let's look at another game like Quake. Fuck the so-called detail you keep speaking of. I'm shooting monsters and it's awesome. This game is so well made and never stops being a great time. You'll never catch me trying to create bullet holes in the walls. Shooting walls? What kind of psychopath tries to shoot walls? I play the game because it's a goddamn video game, not a simulation of real life. It's not fun to nitpick shit for the sake of nitpicking. I've been playing a lot of Splitgate recently. It's a free-to-play FPS in the vein of Halo. It's been a lot of fun to play. Sure, it's in a rough state, and you could say it isn't fair to compare a game that's still in beta to a completely finished game, but the reason I bring this game up is because it's another example of a game that has completely engrossed me, and I don't give a shit about how detailed the game is. The gameplay overpowers the experience. I never took a single second to see if I could break down windows or see if my bat could make dents in the metal walls. I was too worried about winning a round of gun game. Yes, it's impressive when Infinity Ward or Naughty Dog take the extra time to put in stuff in their games that normal developers wouldn't really think about putting in theirs. But when we decide to put more value into the tiny things rather than the stuff that is right in front of our face, I think we then lose sight of what's really important. You can probably tell where I'm going with this, but let me just go ahead and say it. Just have fun.
It's not hard to look past the tiny details in a video game and have fun. Details are more of a tiny little thing to discover rather than a defining feature of the game. These developers are focusing on making a fun game first and foremost. If they have the spare time, then they'll probably put details in the game world, but that's not why games are made. So next time you land in a match of Halo Infinite, just play the game and have fun. You know, they never told me how many gummies were in this packet. They could have at least given me that detail.